Hello, so I am Sha'keira Rooks, and today I want to discuss with you the different types of interviews I have experienced. One interview in particular that I would like to discuss is my interview for my first job, which was at Chick-fil-A. I actually attended an open interview where anybody who is interested in being a part of the team could possibly come in and be interviewed by an employer. So I went in for an open interview and I was actually asked to come back for a second interview. I was excited because I kind of felt like I was okay, I was doing good, and I could possibly receive the job. I went in for my second interview and I was interviewed by four different people. One person being the owner, the next person was the co owner, and then two managers. Every person asked me a different set of questions because I felt like they had a different perspective on how they wanted you to fit in with the company. Therefore, it was very nerve wracking for me because I did not know what to say or what could possibly happen if I answered a question wrong, or what if I didn't know much about the restaurant. How would I go about covering that up so that I could still get the job? So after completing the interview, I was actually told that I did really well and that I was offered the job. So for me, that interview was very difficult because having being interviewed by four different people in the same day can be incredibly disturbing, especially when that's your first job, your very first interview ever. So for me, that was very interesting. So my second interview that I would like to discuss is my interview recently at Thomasville Medical Center, and this was actually an interview for my internship. So I was in contact with one particular person, and I was under the impression that I would be meeting with that person only during the interview. However, when I got there, I was meeting with four different CTRS practitioners. However, it was only one person that was asking me the questions. So during the interview, you had to be able to look at everybody in the room to make sure you are maintaining eye contact with everyone, even though only one person is asking you questions. And I felt like that interview had to be the most nerve wracking interview because everybody was staring at you. Nobody looked away. Nobody, well, they did smile, but nobody kind of, I don't know. I guess they all looked at you like they were waiting for you to say the right answer. But after I finished explaining my answers, they all gave me that, yeah, type movement. So I kind of felt like I did a good job. One thing that I would work on in my interview skills so that I could be better prepared is to just kind of practice scenario questions. For instance, if they were to ask me if I were to facilitate a game or activity for a group of people with a certain diagnosis, how would I go about doing that? I want to be able to answer those questions without having to take a pause or without having to think about it for a long period of time. I know taking pauses is okay when you're answering a question like that, but I feel like if you take too long of a pause, and they may be worried about using you as an intern. So just being able to know and understand the different population groups and what would be acceptable for those population groups would be a good thing for me to do before my next internship interview. So that's basically all. Have a good one.